Hey folks, welcome back to the Do-It-Yourself-Dad channel. Today we're going to be installing a new doorbell, or actually I guess a new smart video doorbell. We're going to be replacing the Wise doorbell that we have down there with one from Eufy. Now if you've seen my other videos, you know that we put in Eufy security cameras and one of the door locks back there. So now we're going to be going with their new doorbell. Now this one, there's a couple versions of it. We're going with the 2K HD, but it's the battery powered one, even though we have wiring. The reason we're going with the battery powered one here is because the battery powered one will allow us to still use the chime inside the house. Now if you go with the wired one, it comes with its own chime. You don't use the chime inside the house, and it's like 50 bucks cheaper. So there's two good options for you. Today we're gonna be installing this, but right now let's get inside, get into the box, and get this thing installed. So we don't do unboxing videos on this channel. So let me show you what all this thing comes with so you know how to install it. Now the first thing you'll notice is the base station. Now if you've seen the other Eufy videos that I've already installed one of these, so I'm not going to show you how to install this one in this video, but I will have it linked down below if you need help. It's very simple, you just follow the on-screen directions. But what this is your base station. It's also the hard drive. And what's great about that is a lot of other stuff, it stores stuff on the cloud. This, it stores it locally on your hard drive, so your stuff is secure and local, so it's not floating around on some server you don't trust. Let's get that out of the way and the stuff that goes with that. Let's get down to the doorbell here. Doorbell is built really well. Compared to the last one that I installed, this thing, it just has heft to it, and the fit and finish is a lot nicer. On the back of this thing, there is a micro USB port right there for charging. I have already charged this, so we can skip that step. These are the little screws on the back to hook it up to your house's wiring. If you have wiring, remember you don't need it, but this will allow you to use your chime. You've got a plate. I'm gonna be using this piece. This is a wedge. This is if you need to angle the doorbell to see where you need it to see. But one thing I really thought was neat about this one, my last doorbell, if you wanted to steal it, you could just take it off the house. This one has this, and it all clips together like so. And then you have this little key that it comes with. When you push that key in the bottom, it releases the doorbell from the house. So it's not easy to just grab. This key is also a magnet, so you don't lose it. You stick it on the side of your fridge. Pretty neat. Let's get into the install. So as is the case with all the Eufy products, you're gonna do the entire setup through your phone. So it installs to the app, and the instructions are on the app, so it's really easy to do. Now, first thing you want to do is download the app. Either go into the Google Play Store or the iTunes Store and download the application, set up an account, it's free. And you can see here now I'm in my home screen. We've got all my cameras and all my security stuff in here. And we're gonna jump up to the little three lines, then click on My Devices. The little plus sign up at the top gives you all the devices you can add. Now we're gonna be adding a battery doorbell. It comes up with the QR codes. We're gonna scan the QR code here on the back of the doorbell. Then we're gonna press the sync button on the back of the doorbell for 2 seconds until we hear a beep, then hit next.
Ready to add device.
So if you notice just there, I dropped everything and ran into the other room. The base station actually emits a tone that this thing has to pick up. So I had to run, get closer to the base station so it would get the tone. But now it is paired successfully. And it has instructions here to charge the doorbell. Now our doorbell is already charged, so we're good to go. So now this is asking us the question we had talked about before. Do we want to use our existing wiring? And yes, in our case, we do. We want to let it know that we have a mechanical doorbell. So I want you to verify that the doorbell is working, and as long as it's giving you a ding dong, it is working, so we're gonna go next. Now remember, you don't have to do this. You can go the other way and not use any of the wiring, and that is totally fine as well. We're gonna follow the little installation guide here, but I'm gonna show you how to do it in real time. Now before you remove your old doorbell, you wanna make sure that the power to the doorbell is turned off. Easiest way to do that is to come out to your fuse panel and locate the fuse that's supplying power to your current doorbell. Now if it's not already marked, and mine is not, you're gonna start going down the line, and it's pretty much gonna be a guessing game. We're gonna flip off a circuit, then push the doorbell button, and when the doorbell stops working, you know you've got it, and then you can proceed. And then you can remove the doorbell. Now this one, you actually pop this outside piece off first. It unclips just like that, and it comes off. Now other doorbells might be a little bit different. You might have screws on the outside, there might be a cover plate, so you're gonna have to figure it out for your own doorbell. Then in the case of this one, we are gonna have to unscrew the 2 screws off the back of it. And again, to reiterate, you can skip this whole step. You don't have to worry about this if you're installing a brand new doorbell and not using the wiring. Now this is something very convenient that this doorbell came with. It came with a little placard here that you can use to figure out where you're going to put your holes. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to line the top hole up with the existing plug, because I can use that, and then come down here, stick this thing in place, and now I know where my bottom hole needs to be. Now if you're putting this on a house with wood siding, you can just screw right into the side of the house. In my case, I'm going into stucco, so I may have to use anchors. What I'm going to do is go at it first with a smaller drill bit, and it would appear that I did not hit solid wood in there. I can switch to a larger one here. So now I've yoked out that hole big enough that I can insert one of their plugs, and we can install the standoff plates. And in my case, because my doorbell is here but my entryway is that way, I'm going to be using the wedge to give the camera a little bit of an angle. So you stack the wedge on the mounting plate, right like that. We're going to kind of weave our wires up through it, and then for this one we want to use the longer screws so we can get through both plates. Now in our case, the wires are long enough that we can just connect it straight to the doorbell. These are alternating current, so we don't have to worry about which one connects to which. Either way will work. Now, if the wires weren't long enough, it does come with included little extensions, and it does show you how to use those in the app. So now with those installed, we can kind of push some of the slack of the wire back into the house. And then this thing seats in place. You get the top in first, and then you kind of rotate the bottom. And then the most satisfying part of the whole thing, removing that film. Okay, so one of the things I tested on the last doorbell was how long it took to get a notification on your phone that there was somebody up front. Not that the doorbell was rung, but that there was motion. Because if somebody's being like a porch pirate and they're stealing your stuff, they're not going to ring the doorbell, so you want to know when they're there. One of the things I got kind of flamed about was how I was using my phone. Now I want to show you here, I am using my phone and I have the Wi-Fi turned off. And the reason I'm turning the Wi-Fi off is because everybody's saying as I approached my house, the phone was scrambling between LTE connection and Wi-Fi, and it was causing the delay, which isn't really true because I got repeaters all over the place. But just to kind of squell those comments a little bit, we've turned off Wi-Fi. Now we're going to walk up to the front of the house and see how long the delay is between the camera seeing me and me getting an alert. Okay, so we're walking across my driveway and into my entryway. Right around now is when I should be getting into the range of the doorbell. And there I got alert. So it's not exactly instant. It may be a little bit quicker than the Wise, but it's still not as quick as I would have liked. Now that may also be my internet connection at home, not really sure. But let's see now what we got on that little bit of footage. So there's me holding my camera, holding my phone, staring at my phone. So there's the footage right there. Now I've heard that kind of delay is about typical with any of the doorbells. The way these work is it has to send an alert to the base station, which goes out to the internet, which then makes it to your phone. So there's a little bit of routing that has to go on. Now let's try and see how quickly we get an alert when we ring the doorbell. So same thing, we're gonna have our phone. We're actually gonna just ring the doorbell with the phone. Now that alert came across pretty much immediately. I'm wondering if we shouldn't play around with some of the settings, because there are some settings to make the alerts come through quicker when motion is detected. So let's try some setting changes real quick. So when you go into the doorbell settings, that's a little gear thing down here. If we come down to notifications, there's options, and it was originally selected to include thumbnail, which means it's got to do some video processing and select a thumbnail to send you. I'm going to change that to most efficient. That should get us a little bit quicker of a notification when somebody comes to the door. So let's give that a shot now. Okay, so same rules apply. We're walking across the driveway. We're going to round the corner into the entryway. And when we get about halfway down the entryway is when we should get into view of our doorbell. Now we're right in front of the doorbell. And there's our notification. So it is a little bit quicker doing this, still probably about a 10-second delay, but much better than it was before. So something to think about when you're setting up your settings is if you want an immediate thing, make that change.
This should give you a pretty good idea of the sound quality that's coming out of the doorbell. Right now I'm inside using my phone's internet connection, not the Wi-Fi, to transmit out to the doorbell. We're noticing about a 3-second delay.
So where are we at with this video doorbell? I really like it. The 2K image quality is awesome. It really lets you pick up things. If you're really dealing with a porch pirate, you'll be able to pick up facial features that'll help you figure out who it is. So that's awesome. Making some of those little tweaks help the detection settings get to your phone a little bit faster. So make sure you do those if that's something that you really worry about. Now, this kind of encompasses my whole security system, and I'm gonna have a video out about how I used Eufy to do the cameras, the security system, the door locks, the doorbell, everything. And that's gonna be linked down below if you wanna check out how we did all that and made one system work under one software package, because it really is working really well all together. Now, if this video helped you out at all, give me a great big thumbs up. Go down and hit that subscribe button because we got lots of stuff just like this that's always coming your way. And of course, thanks for watching.